Welcome everybody to my 13 Days of Halloween video number 1. Today we're going to be talking about In the Tall Grass, the new Netflix Stephen King adaptation. For the month of October, I'm going to cover 13 different videos that are based on horror movies, just different fun videos for the month of October. I was looking forward to this new Stephen King adaptation, In the Tall Grass, because I don't read much of Stephen King books. I know I should. It's fun to see the different kind of adaptations that they make. I didn't really know too much about In the Tall Grass, but I was looking forward to it. And if you like rocks and you like grass, then you might like In the Tall Grass. There's so much grass in this movie. A lot of grass and a lot of rocks. And there's this like overhead shots of the big patch of field, this huge amount of grass. It's kind of memorizing to look at too. It's just like the grass is blown in the wind. It's like, this is kind of calm and relaxing. But this movie tells the story about a brother and sister who stop on the side of the road after they hear a boy named Hoban crying in this tall patch of grass, calling for help, saying that he's lost. They go inside and they find more stuff than just this young boy crying for help. It's a very intriguing idea, and with it being such a large area of grass, this movie definitely does feel claustrophobic. If you've ever been inside a corn maze or a huge amount of grass, really tall grass like this, it's kind of terrifying at times because anything could just pop out at you. Any different direction, something could pop out at you. So as I'm watching In the Tall Grass, as they're running through trying to find their way out, trying to find Hoban, you're thinking, okay, something could pop out at any time. Something could just pop out. And sometimes there are some jump scares. Utilizing the tall grass is an advantage to have some jump scares. But this movie is not that terrifying. There is some gory moments throughout. I expected something, a little more scary per se, but I just did not get that. There were a couple jump scares here and there and some violent moments, but overall, this is more of like a psychological thriller. This movie really, really messed with my mind because of the timeline. There are so many confusing moments in this movie with the characters, the sister Becky and the brother Cal. Inside the tall grass, there are so many different things that are happening, the different timelines, and you're just left confused with what is happening. And you're watching it and then you go back to like, okay, well that happened, but then this happened too. So there's so many different things happening, you're a little bit confused. And sometimes the movie doesn't really try to explain what is happening in this tall grass. They kind of leave it up to you, which I kind of liked. It kind of leaves for some different thoughts about what the field is. And I like that about some movies where you're kind of left with your own thoughts and you're trying to piece things together. In the Tall Grass definitely leaves things up for interpretation, whatever you may want it to be. But also at points I want it to be a little bit explained to me as well. Because multiple times in the movie I had to rewind and go back and rewatch the scene just to make sure I wasn't crazy. So In the Tall Grass definitely does keep my interest throughout the movie. It's very claustrophobic within the tall grass. Patrick Wilson is in this movie as well. I think some of the acting is decent. People that are in the tall grass and they have nowhere to go, they lose their minds. So I think that the people involved in the movie definitely did a great job handling certain scenes in the movie. It's a movie that I definitely wanted to see where it was going to go after all of the different twists and turns and the different timelines and me just being straight confused all the time. I wanted to see where it would go. So the movie definitely kept my interest. I wanted to see how it was going to end up. It's very claustrophobic. It's not a violent movie. I think it is a decent watch. If you like Stephen King, I would recommend seeing this movie on Netflix. I think this movie might turn off a couple people. I could see people saying that it might drag a little bit in the middle half of the movie. But I was interested in the movie throughout, and I like the setting for this, and a lot of the overhead shots just were so interesting to look at. But be prepared for a lot of grass and a lot of rock. And if you can be okay with that, you may enjoy In the Tall Grass. I'm going to go ahead and give In the Tall Grass a B. Have you guys seen the new Netflix film in the tall grass based off of a Stephen King book? Let me know in the comments section down below. Stay tuned for more 13 Days of Halloween videos coming your way. Got a lot of fun things planned for you guys for the month of October. My name is JustinWatchesMovies, and you guys stay spooky, YouTube.